What is up, guys? Welcome back to Rip City Rundown, the real Rip City Rundown, the actual podcast. We are sorry about last week and the technical difficulties. We actually recorded a full 45-minute podcast with a ton of great conversation about the first week of the season and the first couple games. But of course, technology is not our friend. And for some reason, my charging ports got busted. And, long story, Wes explained it in the last podcast. So for the true listeners, the true ones that watch that, I appreciate you guys or listen. But we are back. We've got Blazer basketball to talk about. We've got winning Blazer basketball to talk about. More injuries, unfortunately, big minute injuries and Portland. That's kind of something we hear every single year, I feel like. But the Blazers went 2-1 this week, including a win in the inaugural in-season tournament game, which I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on that because I have some regarding courts and just how big of a deal it is. But with that being said, Cody, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well. I think me and you projected the Blazers to go 1-2 this week, and Wes projected them to go 2-1, and you're going to take that crown. Yeah, solid week. I mean, we should have went 3-0. We absolutely pooped the bed at the end of that last game against
Honestly,
the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies would be 0-7 right now if we beat them the second time, so it would have been great to smack them twice. But regardless, I'm very happy with the performance this week. Injuries continue to haunt us. We'll get into that specifically, but yeah, not a bad week to be a Blazer fan at all. Shaedon is him, and I think those are just a few of the main points to say in the intro before we even dive deeper.
JWP 024, how you doing?
What up, WCOP1? I'm good. If any of you guys are watching the video version and saw what I was doing when Cody was talking and can recall of when that was from, then you
Does
will
Cody know
get
when that's from?
major props for that. I was doing Cody's reaction to Mr. Lillard with a big time shot against the Lakers back when we were live streaming early last year. Good times
I
back
don't
then.
know.
Now, honestly, all good vibes week, like Cody said. Like Cody did mention, I was the only one to say the Blazers would go 2-1. And if we're being quite frank, the Blazers really should have gone 3-0. Just a literal choke job in the fourth quarter. And the second game against Memphis was the reason why we did not go 3-0. It's tough to win back-to-back games against the same team in the league. Yada, yada. You score 2 points in 7 minutes. It's always going to be pretty rough. But apart from that, I thought this week was just an awesome time to be a Blazer fan because it's great when you just watch your team win when they like aren't expected to and are not supposed to, and you don't like deep down don't care if they do or not. So it was nice to see the Blazers. Especially, I really loved the win against Detroit. I watched that one from beginning to end, seeing two young teams go up and our young guys just outplay their young guys. And by young guys, I mean young guy. And by young guy, I mean Shaedon Sharpe. I think Shaedon Sharpe's a good place to jump into because that boy has been balling.
I don't know where his ceiling is. It might be like 1,000 feet
Well,
higher. It
when
might
he
be 2,000
jumps,
feet higher.
he
We
jumps
don't.
out of the ceiling.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, he
He had
jumps
to
out of the ceiling,
block
but
that
his
shot.
that block shot in the game winner. Oh my gosh, I don't know how many players can get to that ball other than Wemby, and I don't know.
Wouldn't be.
Because the distance they travel too. I'm not talking about pure vert, but anyway, Shaedon is him. Is it a hot take to say that I think his ceiling is Simon's-ish? I'll say that word,
No,
Simon,
it's not a hot take.
because he's killing it. I mean, we said from the beginning how we wanted him to develop more into a offensive player, do his own thing, and he was cooking. Like he was kind of like we want to improve on the assists. We're the worst assist team in the league. We'll get into that later, but but it was good to see him like be himself and morph into more of a ISO ball dominant scorer. And he really proved himself a lot in those 3 games this week. Phenomenal week. And he rebounds the ball, which is something that a lot of other ISO Blazer players haven't done in the past. So he's everywhere. He's blocking shots, he's getting rebounds, he's scoring. I'd like to see the assist numbers higher, and we'll talk about that later. But boy, he looks good. And he's 20, not 21 yet. He's 20. So he's
Mhm.
still one of the youngest players on our team. And to see what he's done so thus far is truly incredible, and I'm really excited for the future. And this is his season, especially with Simons going down early. He's going to have to, be that guy, at least for the first couple months of the season.
Yeah, I agree. I think two things just looking at the box score for Shaedon that jump out this week is the minutes played. I know we went to overtime in that one game, but he played 42, 46, 41 minutes this week. I mean,
Good.
he is the
Good.
centerpiece of this team right now in terms of just sheer minutes on the floor. You could argue it's Brogdon or Grant putting up the most shots, the Ball Hog Bros, as we mentioned last podcast that never aired. But the other thing, and I think the reason we are, because it's not necessarily like Sharpe is shooting the ball a ton. I mean, he hasn't put up more than, other than one game this year, he hasn't put up more than 20 shots. So it's not like he's putting up Anthony Simons, Damian Lillard type shots, but he's being efficient and he's getting to the line. In that Pistons game, he was 8 of 10 from the free throw line. And in that first Grizzlies game, the in-season tournament game, he was 6 of 7 from the line. And that's something that Simons has struggled with so far throughout his career. That's something you kind of were hoping to see this year. I mean, a big kind of aspect of being a top scorer in this league, Dame was one of the best in the league at is that's getting to the line, because, I mean, that's if you can get a free 8 points on 10 free throws, you're shooting 80% from the line, you're 8 of 10 every night. That's a free 8 points. That's what bumps your averages from 22 to 30. So I think that's been one of the most encouraging things from Sharpe so far this year. And then, I mean, we mentioned it again. It's hard. We mentioned it when we were talking, but none of the viewers heard it. He's just made some strides defensively. It's not as much just the flashy plays, even though they're still there. I think he and just the Blazers as a whole are kind of just given a little bit more defensively this year. I think that's
100%.
In the youth. Sharpe's been great so far.
Just to kind of piggyback on your take, Cole, that was going to be one of the points I brought up was his ability to draw fouls. Just to kind of dive deeper into the stats, he's in the 82nd percentile in the league in shooting foul percentage, which is pretty much like what percentage of a player's shot attempts was he fouled on. So pretty much if you shoot 100 times and you get fouled 10, you have a 10%, So he's getting fouled 12% of the time, which puts him like in the top 20% in the league. So I know that's a lot of numbers, but for a guy that last year was pretty like, I don't know, relegated to catch and shoot, or maybe like catch and drive, like immediately pull up jumper stuff, him getting to the line, like you said, is going to make him a more versatile offensive player. And then the other thing that I saw was interesting was he's becoming like a 3-level scorer, because I looked at his breakdown on like his percentage of shot attempts where he's taking them on the floor. 38% of his shots are at the rim, 24% are in the mid range, and 37% are from three. So he's like, becoming a good scorer at all 3 levels. Now he's not shooting great. Actually, no, I think he's shooting solid from 3 actually.
45 from the field, 45.5 from the field. 37.8 from the 3. And, for a guy who's not necessarily, he's isoing a little bit. He's not just like the catch and shooter he was last year. So those are great numbers.
Yeah, I'm pleased to see his willingness to drive and his willingness to become a multi-level scorer, because I think that's been the biggest jump we wanted to see from him. We were like, yes, we wanted to see him get more of a bag. Yes, that means handles, but it also means like, can you score more than just one way? And I think he's shown that. And then on top of that, the dude has all the athleticism in the world. So he's going to get his blocks and steals. So he just, like you guys said, the block against Memphis at the end of that game, which, by the way, he played 46 minutes that game.
46.
46. I think, like, Chauncey, I think most teams across the league, because I was watching like a couple, but I think most teams, like, sure, the players are like, well, I don't know what we're doing here. But I think they care.
Yeah, I know.
They care about this. Like, the
it felt
Blazers
different.
Were like, for this game, screw the tank, screw losing, let's go get a win. And, Shaedon playing 46 kind of echoes that sentiment.
Yeah. And going back to the free throw thing, he's averaging 4.5 free throws this year. Last year he only averaged a single free throw per game. And then, like you said, when it comes to driving, just drawing those fouls, just having the willingness to drive, like you said, is going to lead to fouls just because based on his sheer athleticism, he's going to get the fouls because he gets himself in places that guys just can't rise up and block those shots cleanly. So I think if you have an MVP, actually, I beg to differ. I think if you have an MVP of the week, you could argue it is Jerami Grant, who had a great week. He put up 24 points, 26 points, 27 points. Again, big minutes. Key this week compared to the first week is these were all close games, and we saw majority minutes for all these guys. Grant's playing 38, 44, 38. This is the Jerami Grant I want to see more compared to the first week. I'm perfectly fine with Jerami taking a bunch of shots. I mean, he put up 23, 22 in the 2 Memphis games. But I want him to, similarly to Brogdon, like, I don't want the young guys to necessarily just chuck shots. I want them to take their shots when they're supposed to take them.
Right.
I'm cool with them chucking shots because at the end of the
Further
day,
development.
they have a better chance of going in than the young guys most of the time.
Yep. Yep. You bring up great points. I wanted to touch before we get to a next player, just as a whole. The team, I mean, it's young, so it's expected to be rough, but that is assists. Before assists, hang on. Is it safe to say we are a better defensive team than an offensive team?
Cody?
And when is the last time it's been like that? First of all.
Literally, this is how I know this podcast is good, because that was literally what I was about to say next. I was literally going to talk about how this team has literally inverted itself from the Dame era. Like, of course, it's a little extreme right now on the offense about how bad we are offensively because we're young and, we can only get better with our young guys, like theoretically. But the Blazers, yeah, they're dead last in points per possession on offense. They score 104 points for every 100 possessions. The league average is 113 about, so they're 9 points worse than the average. But on defense, they're 12th in the league in defensive points per possession, and we're 5th in turnover percentage. So the Blades, and if just to top it off, 7th in offensive rebound percentage. So what you're seeing is the Blazers having a lot of high energy guys who play defense, who are athletic and have, the physical attributes to, defend. And then the like I was saying, the motor to want to defend. Like, you have a bunch of those guys and you're suffering on the offensive end. But I would argue that this is a better way to build a team because it's way easier to find like shooting, and it's way easier to find offensively skilled players in the league. Like, look at Cam Thomas, or Tyler Hero. Like, that's why we didn't want Tyler Hero, because those guys are just way easier to find. Like, you could argue Tyler Hero is easier to find than Toumani Camara. Like, a Toumani Camara who is, a point of attack defender who has that potential. I mean, Simons, Cam Thomas, Tyler Hero, Bradley Beal when he was good. I mean, some people are better than others, but scorers are not hard to find, or as hard to find as defensively minded, high energy guys. So Portland putting a emphasis on that this year at the expense of the offense, and youth plays a factor too. But yeah, Cody, you brought the point up. So I was just going to say we are inverted compared to the Dame.
That's a great point. And Dame's had a little below average start. I'm talking about Damian Lillard. But that's what Milwaukee fans are complaining about is, we gave up defense for just a highly offensive player. And obviously Dame's going to turn around. We've been Blazer fans for 10 years. We know that Dame, starts off the season slow. So, but that's just an interesting thing Milwaukee fans are saying is, we traded away our defensive piece of Holiday for offense. But anyway, back to our team and the assist. We're also not just last in league in points, like you said, Wes, but also assists. And that's been a common problem for Blazers the last 10 years. Even when we were a good offensive team, we were always towards the back in assists. And although it's early, here we are again, deja vu, we are last in assists. And what's a little more concerning about that is if you look within our team, Scoot and Simons have the most assists. They're 2 and 3, and they're out. So our number 1 is Brogdon with 6, and he's a vet, so that's kind of expected. 6th man of the year. So behind him, in terms of our, younger core, Sharp averages the most assists at only 2.9, and for how much he brings to the table, that is just extremely low. And Jeremy Grant's next at 1.6. So
Jeremy don't swing it.
when Jeremy
getting
Grant's your second,
He's getting Michael Porter Jr. allegations recently.
yeah, so it's just ISO ball, and
Yeah.
it's kind of important. You want your players to develop. Just it's good to be ISO. It's good to develop your ISO ball game, as you'll throw turnovers, you'll make mistakes, you'll learn how NBA defenses play. So that's important, and to get bad shots out of the way your first early years in the NBA. But that is definitely a concern that we need to improve on is assist. So
yeah, I think
the assists would.
Yeah.
I think as guys get older,
I mean,
think that will become a little better, and I think it's partly because of just the fact that we also are the worst. We have the worst offense, lowest number of assists. We also just have the worst shooting percentage in the league. Like, for example, if we had, we'd have more. I think the style
more
of
points
play
means more assists, most likely.
Yeah, well, no, like the style of play is. I think we're trying to become more of a pass happy team as opposed to, Dame, which is good. That's fine. You want to build your style to your personnel, and it worked for us with Dame. So I'm not saying that's the wrong way to go. I'm just saying we don't have a guy now who can shoot it from 40 feet with ease. So, we're going to become more of a ball sharing team. And I think Scoot, has those, has the vision, but the team's young. We can't shoot. And we also play at like a snail's pace, and we do a lot of ISO.
Very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a lot of our success so far this season, at least in the times I've watched, or just times I'm really honed in on just really focusing on what's going on, you see a lot of our success when we do run, but we don't a lot. And I think I would assume this team's gotten a little scared to run, and especially with Scoot being out. Scoot's prone to run. When you have Brogdon running the show, Brogdon's perfectly okay with slowing things down because he can do that. But I would expect us to kind of speed up as the season goes on, as, like you said, young guys get more comfortable. But speaking of young guys, obviously we have this great week. Scoot is not a part of this great week. He's out. He'll still be out for tomorrow night's game against the Kings. I just saw. But he should be back within the next couple games. When he does come back, what do you think Chauncey will do when it comes to whether he starts or not, and what would you do when it comes? Because I think at this point,
the important distinction. Obviously,
Sharpe is in the starting lineup because he was playing with Scoot in that one game they played together. But yeah, what would you do, and what do you think Chauncey does?
I think, I'm speaking personally, I think you should start Brogdon and bring Scoot off the bench just for like a week. Not saying Brogdon is the starter for the whole year.
And honestly, more like there's
nothing. Sure. No, the timing doesn't matter,
Yeah.
but like eventually, later in the year, Scoot will start. But I think yes, Scoot has been struggling. He's, picked it up the last few games and has shown some promise, but like, let him run against the second unit a little bit. Let him have a little less stress on him. I don't know. I think that could be good. You're not really trying to optimize a lineup to win games necessarily. So you kind of have freedom to tinker with lineups and minutes and all that stuff. So I think bringing Scoot off the bench I don't think it'd kill his confidence or anything. I think it'd just be like, you could frame it as, we want to be really careful with you, or, you kind of had a little injury there. We're not going to put a minutes limit on you per se, but, we'll bring you off the bench, let you get up to game speed and just let them get comfortable there for a few weeks, maybe start making some plays against the second unit as opposed to having to do it against Kawhi Leonard on opening night. It's a little difficult, but I think Chauncey will just put Scoot back in the starting lineup. That's what I think he'll do. But
I wonder if Scoot being out kind of calms him down a little bit.
Maybe.
Because, we did see him kind of coming into his own a little bit. When did he get hurt? Did he get hurt?
Yeah, hurt in the Pistons game.
Pistons game, because he had a pretty good game against the Raptors. Or wait, was it the Raptors game?
No, it was Pistons because he started the Pistons game.
Yeah.
It was second half of the Pistons game. I didn't even see it happen. I just was like, where's Scoot in crunch time?
Yeah. Well, speaking of more injuries,
Oh my God.
Robert Williams, the centerpiece of the Drew Holiday trade. This has got a lot of Cronin haters kind of coming, rearing their ugly head. I don't
From the
really
depth.
know my thoughts on it just because we don't know if he's going to be out for the season or if he's going to do this cleanup surgery. That will put him out 2 to 3 months, but whatever, he's going to be out majority of the season. That is Robert Williams. And this is the risk you took when you traded for Robert Williams. You know, he's looked very good coming off the bench. He even was on a minutes restriction to start the season because we were trying to avoid this thing, but it was just a freak accident. I'm pretty sure he's banged knees with somebody. I don't remember who exactly it was. And yeah, he's gonna be out. So
Might have been Biombo. Freaking klutz.
thoughts? There's really not much you can say. I guess the only thought is, are you worried this is going to be an issue going forward? I mean, this is Robert Williams kind of the past couple of years. Just
I mean, I'm definitely worried it's gonna,
yeah.
When we're hopefully trending in the right direction and he's a part of the team, and then we lose him for months at a time. Like, yes, I'm worried about that. For this year, I'm not that worried because an injury like this, while it sucks, can like help the draft aspirations, which kind of sucks to talk about it like that, but that's just the reality of the situation. So I hope he gets better. And yeah, no, but the main concern is not about him missing this year. It's about his track record, like you said, and how much of it is just freak accidents over and over again, and how much of it is like him being like legit injury prone. I think that's a question that hopefully is answered positively for us going forward. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cody, anything?
Yeah, pretty perfectly. I mean, Blazers injuries just can't escape them.
Can't escape them. Speaking of bigs,
Death taxes and Blazer injuries.
yeah, looping Ayton in here a little bit, and Robert Williams with the bigs. So, like I said, the Blazers are last in the league in field goal percentage. We're 8th in the league in field goal percentage at the rim. Don't think we were 8th in the league last year.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. I didn't want to I didn't want to hit him with a stray, but yeah, the Blazers are definitely a more imposing and deep front court team, and has Ayton and Time Lord more. Time Lord's kind of been that kind of limited minutes, high energy blocking shots. I haven't really had too many critiques with him. Ayton, I have my fair share of critiques with. Sometimes there's a few plays at times where it's like kind of lazy effort there, bro.
Yeah.
But there are some plays where he'll get the ball on the block and just beautiful spin move and soft, buttery touch. And I'm like, Bosnian Beast was not doing that. Not to compare the two, but I definitely think Joe Cronin made the front court better via sending out Damon Nurk. So, and it's showing in the stats because I'm actually curious, but I remember we would like make jokes last year about how we were like in the 20s in rim percentage. Yep. We're 8th this year with being the worst offense in the league.
Yep.
Well,
he's consistent. 56% field goal.
Is he leading the league in rebounds? I think he is.
Don't have that at the top.
He might be because Duran was out.
Semi-rebounds.
No, I mean, yeah, he is. Yeah, he's first in the league in rebounds per game at 13.3. And then another thing just interesting, I don't know if this is an Ayton thing or if this is, just a team defense and he's just the middle guy, so he's getting all the steals, but he has 10 steals in the last 3 games.
Good boy.
5, 3, and 2. So
active, man.
I still am waiting for that one like breakout game by Ayton where he scores 25 plus because his season high this year is 16 and his season high in shot attempts is 13. So I think Ayton can be a back to the basket second option center on a really good team. He has that talent in him.
I hate to say this, but I was incorrect.
About what?
We're actually 8th in the league in the frequency of how often we go to the rim and shoot. We're 8th in the league. We're actually 29th in the league in actual shooting at the rim. So
But that's
Bosnian
not
Beast.
I think that probably has a lot
That's a
to do
Mickey Mouse
with
stat.
Scoot, driving to the lane and not
I agree.
finishing. Young guys.
Actually, that's a good
Ayton is
point.
shooting the ball fine.
You know what? Let me just go straight to Ayton and Time Lord. And
Let's just
actually,
look up Nurkic's stats and Ayton's stats.
Let's just put
I
him-
mean, if we really want to get picky like that,
Ayton shooting 56% from the field. Just
if we could
just
just
for
take,
gigs.
we could just
Just for
take
gigs.
like some of Ayton and some of Nurk and just combine them together. And
I
then
did
Ayton-
see on Twitter. Oh, I did see on
Ooh.
Twitter Suns fans calling for Eubanks to start. Guess
What's so funny? That
guess what Nurk is shooting from the field?
what is
Oh.
Nurk shooting from the field?
Gosh.
He's a center.
41%.
It's gotta be 50%.
37.
Bro, Dame has more from the field from him, and he's
Hey.
doing
Ayton
Wow.
shoots like Ayton's in like the 41st percentile at the rim. Nurkic is in the 3rd percentile. He shoots 50% at the rim, and he's in the 2nd percentile for effective field goal percentage. Yeah, dude can't
Dude can't finish.
Dude can't
We're not
finish.
here to
unfortunately.
slander Nurk though. We're here for the Blazer praise instead.
Well, I was just backing up my point that the Blazers are better at the rim now, which is actually true because we go from the 3rd percentile to the 41st percentile.
Another point I just thought of that has to do with nothing. I guess nothing we've talked about, or I guess when we were talking about starting lineup stuff. Starting 3 is still Matisse Thybulle, but he's only playing like 18 minutes a game. He's not getting the amount of run as the other starters. And an interesting thing in the Grizzlies game.
What,
I don't know
Tumani?
if it was doesn't matter. The Grizzlies game.
I mean, you have a
Kamara
66% chance that it was the
Kamara
Grizzlies.
started the second half for the first time this season.
It was the Grizzlies. It was the in-season tournament game.
Just an interesting point. Kamara's been such a dog.
Dude,
And like Marcus Smart to grow, like that's guys we want. He's like
I think
the
that like
non-cringy version of Zach Collins.
Yeah. He's
Like
solid.
I can't look at Zach Collins when he is like arguing with someone and then I see that haircut just flopping back and forth.
And
It's like you're not him.
of course he's in his suit on the bench because he's out.
No, I don't think he's out. You weren't you at the game when he got in a fight with Clay that one year?
Yeah, that was hilarious. That was a great game.
That was
Such
a great game.
classic regular season game. I love what I've seen from Kamara so far. Hopefully, you just get the shooting numbers up, but I think he will. But just mentally in it, like he's a dog, like you said. That is the mentality we want on the floor and what we want our team to follow.
I think that Kamara playing more than Thybulle is like expected because again, Thybulle would be playing more if we were trying to make the playoffs, but we're not.
Yeah.
I hate that I have to keep bringing that up, but that's kind of the lens I'm looking at everything through. Also, just another kind of sidebar here. There's a note on Zach Collins. I forgot who it was, but there's an article that was like every team's worst move or decision since 2013. And they said the Blazers was drafting Zach Collins over Donovan Mitchell and Bam.
Makes
I remember
sense. If we-
Dame specifically wanted Mitchell.
If we had Bam during that Dame run, I don't know. And Nurk
Okay.
And Freedom.
and it's kind of free. The only reason we
And
got
the other center.
who's our other center?
The Hammer.
The Hammer Myers Leonard. Oh, I am just so pissed off. I still can't believe Melo is guarding Jokic in Game 5 to close it every time. It doesn't escape my head how we grind all season long just to get Jokic backing down Melo.
Or
Melo,
Cantor
of all
or
people.
Cantor switched on to freaking Austin Rivers and he just hooks the life out of him.
Jesus, he's so bad.
Oh my gosh.
I get a G leaguer who's a 7-footer at least. I don't know.
Bro, our bench was like Cantor, Mello, and like a bat, like back when Simons was like the worst
Rondé
bench player in
Hollis.
the league.
God, it was
Remember
like
Rondé Hollis Jefferson played like 3 minutes and I think it was Game 5 and had like a -18.
it was to the point where we weren't even doubling Jokic because he would just make the right pass. It was just our guards sitting at the perimeter, catching their breath, ready for offense because they know we're just get scored on.
Yosh, I love you.
Oh man, Robert Covington was just not the elite defender you wanted, but
Elite help defender,
it's fine.
terrible at the point of attack.
But back to today, because that's all that matters, right, guys?
Yeah.
Hey, the Blazers play defense now, so and are there a lot of factors that are playing into that right now? Like we play at a super slow pace. Yes. Have we played teams that literally can't shoot for anything? Yes. But I see
Sample
effort.
size low, yes.
What?
Sample size low. It's what,
True.
7 games?
We were top 10 in defense to start the year last year, and I think we finished like 29.
We were also 10-3.
I know. I think the Blazers will be a top half. No.
No.
No shot. If we are top 20, then that is like a wildly successful year.
I don't know though, because
Because we're obviously
points
going
per
to be a
possession,
bottom.
not rating. I don't know the difference, but because we play at such a slow pace, like the other teams don't get as many possessions against us. And
No,
also
I know,
like
but I just think that by just naturally being a bad team, we're gonna have a bottom 8, bottom 5 record in the league, most likely by the end of the year.
it's gonna be because our
That's just-
offense is so anemic. Our defense is
No,
gonna be
I know, but I just think like
Okay, I guess that's my hot take for this episode. Blazers will have a top 20 defense by the end of the year.
all right,
That's
well,
crazy that's
better.
hot.
That's better than saying we're making the playoffs.
Cody, are the Blazers legit boys?
We are legit for that first pick. Tell you that.
Hey,
Speaking of
all
first picks, boy, Victor who's gonna win, Victor or Chet or Skill?
not Scoot. Who said Scoot was gonna win Rookie of the Year?
That was my hot take, but like, and I don't think
Fine, I
it's
said
too,
Anthony was gonna most improved.
I don't think it's too early to just throw that out the window, but I'm
It
about
is.
to throw that idea out the window. Like it's in my arm, but like
I said Dame wouldn't get traded till 2024. So
You're winding
oops.
up. Well, my actual hot take was we were gonna have the first overall pick, which I guess is still possible.
We're 3-4. Yeah, it's possible.
remember how hot Jerami Grant started from three last year, like over 55%.
Dude, we should have known.
Immediately 28.
We should have
We had, like,
known.
3
starting
straight
10 and
buzzer
3 is
beaters.
Such a smoke screen.
Yeah. Do we want to say predictions for the week, record wise? How many games do we play?
We've got 3. We got at the Kings, at the Lakers, and then at the Jazz in the in-season tournament. Second game. So, we beat the Grizzlies, who obviously when we first saw the groups, when these got announced last year, you would have expected that to be a tough game.
I'll say we go 1-2.
I think we beat the Jazz because for some reason I just feel vibes are great in these in-season tournament games. Yeah, we lose to the Kings and Lakers, and I think we beat the Jazz.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Cody, do you dare go 2-1 like I did last week, or do you go with an 0-3? 0-3 is not bad.
I'm sorry, but the Lakers and Kings are beating us. So, but I'm not going to say we go 0-3. Even if we all say we're going to go 1-2, that's fine. I'm going to say
You didn't want to save the graphic.
Well, we are going 1-2, so why would I like not say that? So,
Fair.
There's no way
I think
the Lakers. So.
I'm not yet. No one wants to be the guy to say we go 0-3. That's fair. Even though it's statistically probably more likely to go 0-3 than it is to go like 1-2.
No, it's not. Definitely not.
Yeah,
I don't know, bro.
it's more
Yeah,
likely
well,
we
you
go
were right
0-3
last
than
week,
2-1.
so maybe we'll do it again. So
Yeah, Cody, don't fall into the trap though.
What trap?
All right, so if we go 3-0, are we?
Are we playoff locks?
Oh, just playoffs?
I was thinking home court.
I'll never get over that.
If we go 3-0 this
insane.
week, we'll get
Okay,
jumped from 14 to
all those that
13.
don't understand, we went 10-3 last year, and we had a podcast just like this. It was probably exactly
Cody,
today.
most of the people listening to this probably were there last year.
Well, yeah, because we got like 2 subscribers here.
I love how you just go. So we actually had this podcast. It's literally this one.
Well, yeah, it was in November probably. I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
And I said we were 10-3, and then we were all in the boat already that we're going to the playoffs. But the idea, oh yeah, you weren't. Me and Wes were. Wes, you were. You definitely were. And then the question arose of, are we getting home court? Because when you go 10-3
No, ready? You want to
and
know
game
exactly what
starts
you
the
said?
season off that bad, you expect to, for good things to happen, but just complete opposite. Then we go like 5-20, and it's just
What exactly you said is you go, all right, so with the emphasis from the bottom of my heart, I'm ready to say the Blazers are legit boys. So, and then we start talking, and then you're just like, I don't know if it was you or Wes, but someone was like, I think it's safe to say we're playoff locks now. I mean, we can all agree with that. Yeah, yeah. Um, is it crazy to say that we're gonna get home court advantage this year? And then probably Wes would like clip it in the 3-6 Blazers Lakers or something like that.
and then we were clowning how ESPN had the Lakers to have lower Western Conference Finals odds than us.
We
And
thought
yet
people were sleeping on the
well,
Blazers.
they didn't make the Western Conference Finals, but they made it to the second round
No, they made West
against
Conference
the
Finals.
Warriors. Oh yeah, they did.
They
Right?
beat the
Yeah,
Warriors.
they did.
Yeah, they did.
The Lakers had a massive turnaround. They were at the bottom last year, and then during trade deadline, I don't know what happened. They
Yeah,
just
we sold. They
Well,
didn't.
if you want my honest prediction, this year we'll finish 14th in the Western Conference standings.
Who's
Right
worse?
ahead of
The-
the
Grizzlies.
not the
No.
Spurs, because they're going to make the playoffs somehow.
probably right ahead of like the Rockets, because Dylan Brooks can't shoot 60% from three for the whole season. That's for sure.
That's
Yeah.
true.
The Rockets are so bad, bro.
Curry-
How many picks do you get before you're like good? They suck.
That Curry highlight was so. There's something about basketball and just creating space in slow motion where it's just an art where it's just so beautiful.
Mm,
Booked Dylan Brooks. Oh my god. That was a
bars,
big
homie.
highlight.
We're trying to see Wimby play when we come to Portland, right?
Yeah, and we'll make
That's
a
the
vlog.
game, right?
We'll make a vlog and it'll get 200 views.
Yeah, facts. Okay, let's
You
go
guys
off
watch
the
our
trail here.
vlogs?
We haven't been off the trail in a while.
Let's do it.
So, by the way, guys, if you're new here off the trail, we are officially done with the Blazer talk. And now we're gonna go off the trail as in off the trail Blazers, as in talk about whatever we want to talk about. Let's talk about that.
About
I really enjoy making vlogs. I think they're fun. Obviously, I'm not doing daily vlogs here. I'm not just making a bowl of cereal and showing you guys how I do it.
not the low game
Like
here.
these are important things. I mean, you went to opening night. You went to Scoot Henderson's first game. That's a big deal. Me and Wes went to 2 Blazer games in 2 nights in a row in a foreign state. That's a big deal.
Warren.
We're going to see the greatest prospect in recent generations, and 150 people are going to care. If that.
I mean, we can complain about our views, or do we ask the question to ourselves, is our content just trash? No. It might be that too.
You
No,
got a
your
point.
guys' vlog was definitely like really good, like better than my vlog, but still, both
I mean,
vlogs should. Okay.
4 minutes of content is not missed a deal.
I guess so.
No, it's fine. It's also doesn't help that's it was Scoot Henderson's first game and he was literally just pooping
Sucking
bricks.
that picture.
Yeah, AI was doing Scoot dirty.
So, when are we all going to Portland next? For
I don't know.
when we going to Portland? When are we? Because
Will we be watching a college football playoff
No,
game
you know
for
what? Let me
Kentucky?
say the schedule, because we all go to Portland every Christmas. The three of us, we meet, family reunion. So over winter break, this is the Blazers schedule. I'll start on December 23rd. At Golden State on the 23rd.
Nope.
At home against the Kings the 26th. At home against the Spurs the 28th and the 29th. Back to back. And then at Phoenix January 1st.
Sounds like we're going to the Spurs game.
Yeah, sounds like
Wemby.
we're going to the Spurs game.
God,
Probably
bro, that would be so sick. That would actually be sick seeing Wemby. Like, no glazing here.
Wembenyama.
That man's so big.
and we'll spend all of our podcast
Oh.
money we've ever made on one ticket.
Okay, why are we just literally just pooping on ourselves right now? I've heard we make no money, we've had no subs, and we make bad content. My gosh.
Well, PKE
Um,
passed us in subs, but we don't care.
PKE did.
Shadow,
Oh,
let me
is that
know.
that? Is that
That's the kid that like
the one that's
looks like
homosexual, right?
looks like Slenderman when he's running on the soccer field.
Mhm.
Uh,
Game winning goal.
are we gonna see the Ducks in a playoff game?
The Oregon Ducks. I'm actually might go to the Civil War for Thanksgiving break.
Hey, wait, Cody. I think we have to hit him with the. Are the Ducks legit?
Wait, did you just say Civil War? You're gonna get canceled for saying that's not called that anymore, I don't think.
What is
It's
it called?
not. That's
I don't
true.
know.
That's so sad that it's not called that anymore.
That's so stupid. It's
Well, if it
just
comes down to a game winning kick, we're not winning.
what a great name. You're both from Oregon. You're two Oregon teams. It's like you're in the same country and you just go against each other. But no,
Same country.
cancel
Yep.
culture.
Like every other college football game ever.
The
Anyway.
Ducks are probably the best they've been since what, 2014 against when they were in the championship.
Yeah, this team's
Can
really
I
good.
can I get a Cody? Can I get a the Ducks are legit boys?
What are we, six? Ranked number six?
Hmm.
No, I'm not gonna say that.
I'll say it.
They
The
are legit,
Ducks.
obviously.
Bro, you know
Ducks
what
are legit.
happens. It's gonna be a cold night in November, and we're gonna choke against whoever. We're gonna choke in a
Arizona
game
State.
somehow. Yeah, gosh.
Well, did you see
So
we're 16 and a half point favorites over USC?
Well, I mean, we got Buddy crying in his mama's arms. He's not ready to play.
Okay. I
It's
think your
fine.
team I
I
think the
think Caleb
Panthers would
Williams is
love to
fine.
have him. But oh wait, they traded away the pick.
It's fine. I
it's
like
like the
having our little
Panthers and
midget.
Giants, probably two of the most poverty.
Hey, Giants are gonna get Caleb, bro. It's the Tommy DeVito show the rest of the way.
Dimes. Yeah, Dimes is out.
Giants might be done with football.
Dude, how about Kirk just tearing that Achilles, just sabotaging your fantasy team?
My team, man. What you gotta do? I have
Kirk.
Brock Purdy. I have Brock Purdy though. He's
Yeah, Kirk and Purdy.
Bro, Kirk Cousins is so good. He's the most underrated quarterback in the league. I'm telling
Dude, he
you.
just racks the stats.
He's
Yeah,
racks his stats. I got him
he's
late in the
good.
draft. I got him
Kirk
late.
was like pushing top 7 quarterback this year.
Dude, when he got hurt, I saw that and I was just like,
Dare I say top 5?
yes.
Kick and Pity.
I don't know if you guys do fantasy football.
It's
but,
fine. Oh, it's fine. Okay. Can we talk about how Fresh Kid is just trying to feed cheesy players? He literally traded Mike Evans for no player to cheesy.
What?
That I swear. I said, let me see.
Bro, we could all
Dude.
get Cheesy, our best player, and he's still not make the offs.
Dude,
Yeah,
Cash
look,
and I
look,
did
look, look,
like
look, look. It's Fresh Kid and Cheesy Breadsticks completed a one-player trade. Cheesy Breadsticks acquired Mike Evans from Fresh Kid. That's it. Cheesy still put up like 60 this week. You got
He is the
Bro,
worst player.
this is why I hate that's why I hate that league. There's so many shenanigans. That's so dumb.
He's 2-8 or 2-7.
Way West, but doesn't matter. I mean, he's not making the offs anyway. So.
Yeah.
No, I know, but like,
And then you got Billy.
Cole, can I get AJ Brown for you for free?
Honestly, then you got Billy Goat just like dropping his best players because they go on buy. Like Billy Goat dropped Devo Samuel. Like, what are you doing?
Did you pick him up?
Yeah, I picked them up. Because normally I don't do that because it literally feels like cheating. And then Thick Sauce just has them the next week. So Thick Sauce
Just
top of the
alright,
waivers
man.
every time.
Can I
All
just? Oh, I want to win a championship, man. I've been to 2, but I can't pull
Cody,
it.
you are due. I was saying you're my pick this year.
Thanks, man.
But that was pre-kick.
I put up 180. Like that's gonna be a record. That is a record by far. Oh yeah. Is that yours?
Is that
That's
your
my
Honestly?
is that your Bill Russell ring? That was so long ago.
2016 or something.
that's back when it was like Krispy Kreme era and Mad Beats.
It was Mad Beats.
Cade.
That was Cade.
Cade was Mad Beats. That's so
What are the
cringy.
other names?
Well, I think you are.
Julio, I think you are. Goat balls. Well, I guess
Fart breath.
no.
I'm just
That was
kidding.
before Billy Goat. Let me see.
Mad beats. Oh my
All
god.
right, we can make TikToks now. You can wrap it up.
Yeah, well,
Thank you guys for listening.
honestly, a fantasy football check every week would be funny because it would be it's just too entertaining. It really is.
Dude, we were saying before you end it, Cash and I were saying that every team name is so like iconic. You can literally just say like the first like syllable. And, you got
Jeez.
cheap, you got thick, you got fresh, you got Esays,
Thick.
you got thick, you got cruise, you got
LBB.
cheek,
Thick.
you got I don't know, LBB, long bomb. That's
Billy
so
Goat.
funny. Yeah, goat.
Yeah, or Get Neds.
Goat nuts.
That was like his
Dude.
short name,
We
whatever.
were saying Cade. We were doing NBA comparisons to everyone. I think Cade was like the Pistons or something. Like, dude, just as dookie. It's actually hilarious. This dude gets like Justin Jefferson and he gets hurt.
Fresh kids like Golden State.
Yeah, no, we said Fresh Kids Golden State. We said Cole's like Boston, maybe.
I'd say I'm like, no, I'm not.
No, we said you're Boston, Cody, because you go to the you're good and you go to titles, but you can't win. I think Cole, we said you're
Who's
we
Mick
said
or Thick?
we said Thick's the Lakers because right Mix, obviously.
Yeah, just attract stars.
I think you said Spartans are Spartans is the Hawks go to a Mickey like Eastern Conference Finals, just like Spartans went to a Mickey Finals.
Who's Billy Goat? Billy Goat's like just the team that makes reactionary moves, reactionary trades.
I think Cash might have been Denver because he just won. And he's
He's like always
Mickey-
solid.
like-
Mickey Mouse ring.
Denver was bad. He said no holding back are the maybe we said go to the Cavs. I don't know. We had them all.
Bon Beast might have won the championship if it wasn't for that January 3rd night in
DeMar.
Cincy. But
DeMar.
whatevs.
Decided to have a heart attack on my championship night. Like, what the actual hell are those odds? But it is what it is, I guess.
Cash,
If only
hey,
T didn't load
Cody.
for-
Like,
Cody.
it's fair because he got to replay. Like, come on,
This is I'm not going to say this live on the podcast. I'll say it after.
All right. Well,
Are we
All right.
thank you guys.
Well,
for
thank
watching.
you. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching.
That garbage.
If you're listening, give it a 5 stars on Spotify. If you're watching, give it a like. And we'll see you guys next week. As we review another week of the Blazers and another in-season tournament game. So thank you guys for watching. Peace out.